If you don't work, you're going to fail. And again, I say that's life in general. That's not just football. You can be really brilliant, but if you don't put it to use, what the hell's the point? I do think a good Abdul Carter, a little bit of competition would fire him the hell up. I don't know if he takes plays off, and it's hard for me to tell if they do. I'm not on the field. I don't really know. Maybe he got hurt. Maybe I don't know. It's hard for me to ever, unless you just really watch a guy watch. I mean, if you've seen that before, they just see you later. But I understand it's frustrating. He should be elite. He's the 5th overall pick. You expect the guy to be a monster, and he's been a monster here and there. And then there's other games you forgot he's even on the field. You can't really have that with the 5th overall pick. But maybe if you do draft Abdul Carter, it does light a fire under his ass, and he plays really good in the second year in a Shane Bowen system with the Brian Burns and in a healthy Dexter Lawrence, because that certainly hurt the Giants too, that they didn't have Dexter Lawrence for a lot of the year. I don't want to give up on the guy. There's a reason to pick him 5th overall. He is incredibly talented. He was pretty much mocked to go first until Trayvon Walker blew up the combine. So I felt like we had a steal at that point, but it seems like
him or Hutchinson were the
It feels like no matter what we do, it never seems to be right. It always seems like it's the right pick when we get it, and then they get here, and it's like, what the fuck did we just do? I don't know.
You think about him and Hutchinson, only 4 picks apart, right? And they're not even remotely close. Like Aiden Hutchinson is 100 times better than Kayvon, and it's not even an argument.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't argue on that. Aiden Hutchinson is maybe the best young pass rusher in the sport. So I
remember when we drafted Kayvon? It was 2022. Remember we went to the postseason that year. We won a playoff game. Our coach won Coach of the Year. Remember that? Big shout out to BetUS TV, who sponsor our stream. They power the stream. And if you want to check out BetUS TV, go to their YouTube channel. They have all your prop bets, your spreads, everything about the draft, everything about sports. Check them out. They're the ones that power our stream. And we have a great one today. As you see, Brian Daboll is 28-1. There's 32 coaches, mind you. 32.
Oh, my God.
28-1.
I'm not picking him with Coach of the Year, Bad Dog, but for 28-1, he won Coach of the Year 2 years ago, and his odds going into that year was probably higher than this. So being a first-year head coach, those aren't bad odds. I'm not betting,
those
aren't bad odds. This is
better odds than the Giants winning the division, in my opinion, because we don't need to win the division for him to win Coach of the Year. If the Giants won 9 games again or 10 games, say they got lucky, they were 10-7, that's Coach of the Year. Without question. This is also when he won Coach. You can tell he's a little heftier in this picture. This isn't thin Daboll. This is Coach of the Year Daboll over there. So I'm taking a thicker Daboll to win Coach of the Year at 28-1. I like those odds, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy Borna for coming up with some of these stats, because they make us laugh every time. How long the odds are for the Giants to succeed at anything in 25-26. Even our coach is relegated to being 28-1 when it comes to winning Coach of the Year. But huge shout out to BetUS TV for powering Giants Collective. We appreciate them very much. And like I said, go over there, check them out on YouTube, and go Coach Daboll at 28-1.
I don't hate those odds. Like, if they can win 9 games, which I'm not predicting, but if they did, he would be, like you said, one of the front runners to win it. So I don't hate those odds.
Gotta be, without question. Is it possible we win 9 games?
Yeah, it's also possible I could land on the moon in a month, but it's not likely. It's not likely, but you never know.
You never do know.
Is that the Giants signed 2 veteran quarterbacks, and our win total went up 1 from 4 to 5. So
yeah. Yeah, that was the other one I saw. Was the odds were, I think they were minus 140 that we won less than 6 games. I think the odds were, less than 6 games, because the odds were like 5.5 as far as a win total goes, and we were like minus 145 or whatever it was to win less than 5 games. I wish I knew exactly the way the schedule was played out, because I'm just curious if the Giants get off to a really bad start. Say we started 0-4. We'll start with you, Adriana, because I know Chris has been pretty vocal about if the Giants are bad, Daboll's going to get fired and Shane's going to get fired. If the Giants start off really bad, they're 0-5. How long is Brian Daboll's leash? You think they would get rid of him in the middle of the year? You think they would clean house in the middle of the year and get ready for 2026? Or do you think that they would just play out the season if we got off to a really bad situation?
To me, it all depends on whether or not they have Shedeur Sanders or another quarterback. I think if they're 0-4 or 0-5 between Russ Wilson and Jameis Winston, but they have Shedeur Sanders, and then they put him in and he wins like 2 games against, who knows, maybe he wins 2 division games or a division game and an AFC West game. Like